You've seen the headlines, right? They're everywhere. A company announces these incredible, record-breaking profits, and then, in the very next breath, they announce massive, just heartbreaking layoffs. It feels like it makes no sense at all. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly why this isn't a paradox at all.
It's the big question on everyone's mind. If a business is doing so well, better than ever, why are thousands of people losing their jobs? It feels like the entire system is broken. But as we're about to see, the system isn't broken. It's actually working exactly the way it was designed to.
And this just hammers it home, doesn't it? On one side of the ledger, you've got these giant glowing green numbers for profit, total success. And on the other side, these painful, scary red numbers for people being let go. So how do we make sense of this? Let's unravel it.
So, what's the secret here? What's the key to understanding this? It's all about realizing that profits and layoffs, they're not even talking about the same thing. They're focused on two completely different points in time. Think of it like this. When a company reports record profits, they're essentially showing you their report card for the last semester. It's a look in the rearview mirror. It tells us how they performed yesterday, last quarter, last year. It's all about their past performance, which we call today.
Layoffs, on the other hand, have almost nothing to do with today. They are a strategic, calculated move that is entirely focused on the future. A company isn't laying people off because it's failing now. Nope, it's doing it to make absolutely sure its financial numbers look even better tomorrow.
So you see, public companies are basically forced to live in two worlds at the same time. They're reporting on the successes of the past, while constantly making these huge bets to guarantee the successes of the future. And, as you can imagine, those two goals can lead to some really different, often clashing decisions.
And this table really clarifies who the most important audience is for those future-focused decisions. Look, as an employee, your biggest question is totally understandable. Is my job safe today? But Wall Street, the investors, they are asking a completely different question, relentlessly. That's great, but will your earnings be even higher next quarter? And when that all-important question comes from Wall Street, are you going to be more profitable next quarter? There is no faster, louder, or more decisive way to scream yes than by cutting staff. It's an immediate, powerful signal to investors that you're controlling costs to protect those future profit margins.
Now, this whole strategy gets put on steroids when you talk about big, mature tech companies. See, once they've already conquered a massive chunk of the market, the game totally changes. It stops being about rapid growth and starts being all about aggressive efficiency.
Think about it. At some point, there's a limit to how many new users you can possibly find, right? Or how many new features will actually convince people to pay more. Those traditional ways of growing a business, well, they eventually start to slow down. The runway gets shorter.
And here's the really uncomfortable truth. When those other growth levers stop working, cutting staff is the one lever that gives you an almost guaranteed instantaneous boost to your profit margins. At this stage of the company's life, efficiency isn't just a strategy. Efficiency is the product.
Okay, so this trend was already in motion. But in just the last few years, two massive events happened that basically threw gasoline on the fire. The wild hiring boom during the pandemic, and, of course, the explosive arrival of generative AI.
So first, let's talk about that hiring reset. You remember? For a couple of years, money was practically free, and tech companies were in a mad dash to grow, hiring anyone they could. But then, the economy shifted. Interest rates went up, the pressure mounted, and suddenly the mandate from investors was to get lean and fast. Layoffs were the quickest way to do it.
And second, and maybe this is the biggest shift of all, AI came along and completely changed the math. Executives are now looking at their teams through a new lens, and they're running calculations that sound a lot like this. This isn't just an idea. This is the new logic that is reshaping entire companies as we speak. And let's be super clear here. This isn't really about what AI can do perfectly today. It's a massive bet on what everyone is convinced it will be able to do tomorrow. Companies are restructuring their entire workforces now because they're anticipating huge efficiency gains just over the horizon, all powered by AI. So if this is all so logical from a cold, hard business perspective, why does it feel so deeply fundamentally wrong to us? Well, it's because it highlights this massive clash between what we expect as human beings and the reality of how a corporation actually works. You see, we're wired to think in terms of loyalty. We assume if we work hard and help a company succeed, that loyalty will be returned. But a corporation doesn't run on feelings, it runs on data. And its decisions are driven by the cold, hard numbers on spreadsheets, by financial forecasts, and by that relentless pursuit of higher margins.
And all of this forces us to completely redefine what job security even means in this environment. Here's the bottom line. In this system, record profits do not protect your job. Proving that your role is absolutely essential to the company's efficiency, that's what protects your job. It's a huge mental shift.
And that brings us right back to the toughest pill to swallow in all of this. Seeing a company announce record profits and mass layoffs in the same news cycle isn't a sign that the system is broken. It's a sign that the system is working perfectly, exactly as it was designed to prioritize future shareholder value above absolutely everything else.
So when you get right down to it, the question we should be asking isn't, why are profitable companies doing layoffs? The real question, the one that truly gets to the heart of this disconnect we all feel, is this: why did we ever start believing that profits meant security in the first place?